What's going on, you guys? How you guys doing? What's up? So, ODogg Anti-Imperial ThaChill here. You guys already know on Wednesdays and Sundays, United States Eastern Time Zone, that I do Diversity Outspoken, right? So, Diversity Outspoken is like it's like kind of like we do it like a talk show podcast type of thing, to where we talk about serious issues, but we do it in I try to do it in like an educational, but a entertaining and kind of like, upbeat type of way or whatever. So that's Diversity Outspoken. So we do that on Wednesdays and Sundays, right? Wednesdays and Sundays. Wednesday night at 9 o'clock United States Eastern Time Zone. What's going on, Raul? How you doing, my brother? 7827. What's up, Vic? Vic out here. And so that's Diversity Outspoken. Wednesdays at 9 o'clock United States, 9 o'clock p.m. United States Eastern Time Zones, and Sunday Eastern Time Zone, and Sunday at 9 o'clock p.m. United States Eastern Time Zone. You know what I'm saying? So that's when I do those things. I announced at last night. What's going on, Toya Shinique? My brother Vic. I announced on last night that I'm going to start doing this thing called In My Mind, where it's like it's kind of like Diversity Outspoken, but these will be more about current events and things like that. What's going on, Logan? How you doing, my brother? So this is like a In My Mind, which is why it's not coming on. It's not coming on a Wednesday or Sunday. So it was 23. Last night on Diversity Outspoken, I announced that I'm going to start doing this new series also. Diversity Outspoken is not changing, but I'm going to start doing this new series called In My Mind, because In My Mind is going to be more about like current events and more about like, current events and today's issues type of thing. And so if there's something that comes up that I feel like is necessary to talk about or just clarify or something like that, I'm going to start doing this thing, which is called In My Mind. So these will just pop up randomly. There's no set time or anything like that. No, there's no set time, 23 or anything like that. What's going on, Dilma? How you doing? These are just going to be randomly when I see something in the news or something of gossip or something like that, which I just want to clarify or kind of like put my little word into and put my little kind of like educational view on it. So it's more like that. It's not as serious as Diversity Outspoken, even though Diversity Outspoken is perfect because we have fun there and things like that. These are more like smaller, quicker clips of just current events and news events, which Diversity Outspoken I more cover more larger ideas and more larger subjects. And this is more like current subjects, what's going on kind of like today in the news type of thing. So these will be random 23. These will be kind of like, at different times, random times and things like that. So that's the only thing this is all about. What's going on, Conceited Mika? How you doing? So ODogg Anti-Imperial ThaChill, for you guys who don't know me, that's my artist name. I'm a recording artist. This will be very, very quick, as quick as possible. ODogg he's kind of like the sexually like explicit, funny clown type of guy. Anti-Imperial is more of who I am personally. He's more about religion, politics, social issues, history, and things like that. And ThaChill is the hopeless romantic and stuff like that. Asian Eloquence is out right now. If you guys go, what's going on, Emma? How you doing? It's all good. Asian Eloquence is out right now. If you guys go to my IG page, my bio page, you guys can see the Asian Eloquence video, so make sure you check that out when you get a chance. What's going on, Ben? How you doing? It's all good. So today, really, Robin, what's going on, you guys? Everybody's checking in, even though it's not Diversity Outspoken. I won't be that long at all. You guys see it's really late as it is, so it's gonna be really, really quick. I'm gonna get out of here really, really quickly. So this is In My Mind, right? So it's the In My Mind episode, which is why it's random right now. I came on at a random time. I saw some stuff that I just or something that I just wanted to come out and talk about really, really quickly. So tonight, for the In My Mind episode, I want to talk about really quickly Kanye West. Good old Kanye West. It's all good. This is the thing, though. So everybody who knows me and he's been with me and kind of knows my background a little bit, you guys know that my degrees, what's going on, sweetest Candy Kisses? How you doing, beautiful sister? But you guys know my degrees. I went, my undergrads in University of Miami. I went there when I was 15 years old. Man, I got out of there when I was 19. I was 15. I was going on 16. And graduated out of the University of Miami when I was 19. And that was in a Bachelor's of Liberal Arts. And then after that, I went over to Egypt. And I got my first double master's degree. And it was in World History and Geographical Studies. And then I went to Syria, University of Cairo in Egypt. And I went to the University of Damascus in Syria. And I got my second double master's degree. And that double master's degree was in International Political Science and Economic Development. So international politics and economics. So my master's degrees, there's 4 of them. So one's in world history, one's in geographical studies, geography, one's in international political science, international political science, and one's in economic development. And my PhD, I have a PhD, and that is in international affairs, international relations. So that's what I got. So that's kind of makes me qualified with all of that kind of politics and history background. Kind of makes me qualified to talk about this that we're going through tonight very, very quickly. What's going on, Leonard Torres? It's all good. Kanye West. So Kanye had, I saw this where Kanye had a one of his Sunday services and things like that. And so in his Sunday service, he started to talk about how he said Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves, and Abraham Lincoln was a Republican Party. He said, so the Republicans freed the slaves, and therefore, he was basically saying, therefore, that's why I support Trump. He was basically saying, since Abraham Lincoln was a Republican, and Republicans freed the slaves, that's why I support Trump, because Trump is a Republican, and it was a Republican Party that freed African American slaves. So that was his logic on trying to attach Abraham Lincoln and the Republican Party to Trump and the Republican Party, and why he supports Trump, because Trump's a Republican and Republican Party freed the slaves. And he was trying to connect those two. So he's basically trying to connect Abraham Lincoln and the Republican Party. I have the audio here. Let me play it really quickly. You guys just listen up real quick. And I have the video here too. Let's see if we can hear that.
Abraham Lincoln was the Whig Party. That's the Republican Party that freed the slaves. Yes, sir. That's the Republican Party that freed the slaves.
I don't know if you guys heard that. So he's saying that's the Republican Party that freed the slaves. Abraham Lincoln was the Republican, so that's the Republican Party that freed the slaves. That's what he's trying to say right there.
Abraham Lincoln was the Whig Party. That's the Republican Party that freed the slaves. Yes, sir. That's the Republican Party that freed the slaves.
So he goes on to talk about, I hope you guys heard that, but he goes on to talk about, so that's the reason why he supports Trump, is because Trump's a Republican, and Abraham Lincoln, being a Republican, freed the slaves. Okay, Kanye. What Kanye fails to, he either was ignorant of the history of our political parties, or, and history as a whole, or he knows and he just distinctively left out a whole bunch of information. What's going on? What's going on? Who's that? It was that Tenanis. What's going on? He left out a whole bunch of information on purpose. It's all good, my brother. It's all good, Vic. Definitely in class right now. He left out a whole bunch of information on purpose because he just knew that the masses that were listening to him, which most people aren't, which is okay. Most people aren't vastly educated in history and politics, so they don't know. So when you say something like that, that is not the full story, they're just going to hear what you say and believe it. This is the thing, all right, with Kanye, and we're going to make this quick. First of all, more than Republican or Democrat, and I'm not going to get into this tonight, but more than Republican or Democrat, what really makes political ideologies are conservative and liberal progressive. So, for example, conservatives, how you doing? What's going on? What's going on? Deepu, what's going on? Bajaj. Conservatives in any political party, they want to hold on to the past. So that's what conservatives want. Conservatives mean you want to conserve or hold on or maintain something that has always been. For example, if I'm drinking a glass of water and I say, you know what? I don't want to drink this entire glass of water right now. What's going on, Leslie Webb? And I say, you know what? I don't want to drink this entire glass of water right now. I want to conserve some of this water that I'm drinking, or keep some, or maintain some, or hold on to some of this water that I'm drinking for later. So when a conservative wants to conserve, hold on to, maintain what has always been. I'm eating a hamburger right now. I'm not going to eat this entire hamburger right now. I'm going to save some of this. I'm going to hold on to some of this hamburger. I'm going to maintain some of this hamburger and save it for later. That's a conservative. A liberal progressive in politics, you guys, means that they want to move forward. Liberalism means absolute equality. And progressive, when you progress, when you show progress, when you progress, that means you want to move forward. So this is how we get here. So if you notice today in the United States over there, you guys have two political parties. It is the two major political parties. It is the Republican Party, and the Republican Party is the party of conservatives. That is why a lot of times when you look at the Republican Party, they are against things like gay marriage. They are against things like, if you look at Trump's Republican Party, they are against things like, quote unquote, people say they're against things like immigration. Right? What's going on, beautiful Jewel? What's going on? What's going on, Tony? How you doing? They are against things like immigration, right? They are against things, many people in the Republican Party, people will call them racist, be it right or wrong. People will call them racist. And the reason why that is, you guys, is that Republicans are conservative. So they want to hold on or maintain past traditions. So they say, well, you know what? Marriage has always been between a man and a woman. Therefore, I want to hold on, conserve that past tradition of marriage. So I am against gay marriage, because I don't think marriage should be between a man and a man, or a woman and a woman, right? You see what I'm saying? Because they are conservatives. They want to hold on or maintain past traditions. Okay? That's what a conservative is. A progressive, a liberal progressive, which today in the United States are based in the Democratic Party, liberal progressives, they believe in absolute equality, and they believe in progressing or moving forward, showing progress in something. Okay? So a liberal progressive will say, well, you know what? As long as you're not infringing on a marriage person between a man and a woman, as long as you're not infringing on them, then a Democrat, being a liberal progressive, they will say, I have no problem with gay people getting married because I believe in absolute equality. So if men and women can get married, well then men and men should be able to get married, and women and women should be able to get married, because that is absolute equality. That is liberalism. And also, I believe that we shouldn't get stuck in the past like a conservative. I believe that we should move forward in life, and we should move forward and change our laws. We should progress forward and change our laws to fit the times that have changed. So they're liberal progressives. So today, Republicans are conservatives. They want to hold on or conserve the past. Democrats are liberal progressives. They want to have absolute equality and move forward with absolute equality. See how that works? The difference what Kanye is not telling you between Abraham Lincoln and Donald Trump was that, first of all, Abraham Lincoln was a liberal progressive. That is why he wanted to have equality by making the slaves free, just like white men were free. right? He wanted to have that equality and felt that it was time to move forward and not hold on or conserve the past tradition of slavery. See how that works? So he was a liberal, progressive Republican. So the name Republican and Democrat don't really matter, you guys. It's whether you're a liberal progressive or whether you are a conservative. Those are the two things that matter. Okay? You could be a Democrat and be a conservative and believe that, well, you know what? We should hold on to past traditions. I'm about to end it. And that is exactly what happened. So this is basically what happened. The Civil War ends in 1865. Abraham Lincoln is assassinated because he is a liberal, progressive Republican. He's assassinated by a conservative Republican. By a conservative. The conservatives at that time that were against Abraham Lincoln switched to the Democratic Party, you guys. Okay? So there were conservative Democrats. All of the Southerners, all of those who were slave owners, Confederates, they became part of the Democratic Party because they hated Abraham Lincoln. They were conservative Democrats. Okay? These conservative Democrats called themselves Dixiecrats because they were from the Southern slave states and they believed in what they called Old Dixie, which were the Southern slave states, called themselves Dixie. Okay? That was the Dixie. The Southern slave states were Dixie. All right? That was called Old Dixie. One of their battle cries for the Southern, and during the Civil War, the Southern slave owners, during the Civil War, the South, one of their battle cries was the Dixie Jingle. Okay? They were Old Dixie. All right. That's 1865. When the Civil War ends, Abraham Lincoln's assassinated. They all become, those who assassinate Abraham Lincoln, those conservatives, they become the Ku Klux Klan and things like that. 100 years later, 99 years later to be exact, okay? 99 years later to be exact. That was 1865, the Civil War ends. In 1964, almost 1965, 100 years later, 1865, 1965, right? Okay, so 1964, all right? 100 years later, we are in the Civil Rights Movement. The 1860s was the Civil War. That was Abraham Lincoln. The 1960s was the Civil Rights Movement. 100 years later, that was Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, John F. Kennedy, Robert Kennedy. You see how that goes? 100 years after Abraham Lincoln. That's the Civil Rights Movement. That is Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and them. When that happened, you guys, JFK starts to work on a bill called the Civil Rights Act. All right? When he finishes, he's working on the Civil Rights Act in 1963 when he gets assassinated. His vice president, Lyndon B. Johnson, becomes president. Because when John F. Kennedy gets assassinated, the vice president then becomes president. All right? So Lyndon Johnson is then president. Okay? How you doing, Interstellar Traveler? So once Lyndon Johnson becomes president, you guys, he finishes the Civil Rights Act and he signs it. Dr. Martin Luther King is right there with him. He signs into law the Civil Rights Act in the 1960s. Okay, what's going on, Interstellar Traveler? How you doing? I'm going. This is in my mind. This is not Diversity Outspoken. This is in my mind right now. I'm talking about Kanye West Sunday service when he was talking about how the Republican Party freed the slaves with Abraham Lincoln, and so that's why he supports Trump. I'm trying to show the difference between how Lincoln and Trump were two totally different things. You missed the first part, but I'm going to post it and stuff like that, so you'll be able to see it, so you'll understand more. But in the 1960s, during the Civil Rights era, once a Democrat, liberal, progressive Democrat, which JFK was, John F. Kennedy was, and when he's assassinated, his vice president, Lyndon B. Johnson, is also, you guys, a liberal, progressive Democrat. He signed into law the Civil Rights Act. And the Civil Rights Act gave African Americans in the United States all of these different laws and freedoms that they did not have before. That was in 1964. It was called the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Lyndon B. Johnson, JFK's vice president, signs it into law. Martin Luther King Jr. is right there with Lyndon B. Johnson when he signs it into law. Okay, the year after JFK is assassinated, 1964 is when this passes and it gets signed into law. The moment that happened, any conservative Democrats that were left in the Democratic Party, those Dixiecrats, those Southern racist Democrats, they left the Democratic Party and they all went to the Republican Party because they were like, you know what? I hate black people. This is what the Dixiecrats felt. We were the Southerners. We were the slave owners. I hate black people. And being that John F. Kennedy, who's assassinated now, and Lyndon Johnson, the president, has signed into law side by side with Martin Luther King Jr., this Civil Rights Act of 1964 that's giving black people all these freedoms they didn't have, any conservative Democrat that was left in the Democratic Party left the Democratic Party. They were so upset and they all went to the Republican Party. And that is why today you see in the Republican Party all of the racism. That's why today in the Republican Party you see all of the white supremacists. You see the skinheads. You see the Klan. Those are all, they support Trump. You see what I mean? They don't support the Democrats because those are the former conservative Democrats. Those are the Dixiecrats from the days of slavery. Okay? So, when Kanye West, what's going on? How you doing, Mattia Campos? How you doing? Olakoff, how you doing? So when Kanye West says, I support Trump because Trump is a Republican and Abraham Lincoln was a Republican and freed the slaves, it is a fallacy, his argument. It has no logical bearing because Abraham Lincoln was a liberal, progressive Republican and Trump is a conservative Republican. And the party of Abraham Lincoln being a Republican, those were liberal progressives back then. But now the party of the Republicans are all the former Dixiecrats. All of the conservatives now are in the Republican Party. And that is why you see now the Republican Party, they don't like Hispanic immigration. They don't like gay marriage and things like that. Anything that has to do with like being liberal, equal, or progressing, moving forward, the Republican Party is against, right? And that is, like I said before, the reason why also you see in the conservative Republican Party, that is Trump today, you see also that's why they have in their party all of the white supremacists, the skinheads, the Klan, they are all in Trump's Republican Party. So Trump and Abraham Lincoln were totally different people. The word Republican and Democrat does not matter, you guys. What matters is if you're a liberal progressive or if you are a conservative. That is what matters, okay? Liberal progressives believe in absolute equality, liberalism, and progressive and moving forward, progressing or being a progressive, moving forward into the future with their laws, okay? Moving forward into the future through equality. That is liberal progressive. And conservative means that you want to hold on or conserve or maintain past traditions, okay? So you don't want to see change. Like when Obama was running, Obama ran on change. He was a liberal progressive. So Obama being a liberal progressive, wanting change, because progressives want to change things to go into the future. They want to change what has been in the past, right? Being a liberal progressive, you would never see, for example, Obama say bad things about Hispanics or immigrants or Muslims or stuff like that. All the stuff Trump does, because Obama was a liberal progressive. So he believed that we should move into the future through equality. Okay? Trump does not believe in that. Trump is a conservative. So he believes that we should keep it the way that it always has been in the past. Therefore, we should not change things to bring more Hispanics into the country, to have more rights for gay people and stuff like that. Because he is a conservative. He wants to conserve or hold on or maintain past traditions. So Abraham Lincoln and Trump are totally, completely different, you guys. Their political ideologies were totally and completely different. So for Kanye West to say that he is a Trump supporter because Trump is a Republican and Abraham Lincoln was a Republican, and that's why he's a Trump reporter because he liked what Abraham Lincoln did, that is a fallacy in logic. Abraham Lincoln and Trump were totally different on the political scale as far as one, Abraham Lincoln was a liberal progressive and Trump is a conservative. And you can tell by the way they carry themselves and what they believe in. All right. So there you go, you guys. And that was for the answer of Kanye West and Kanye West Sunday service that just recently happened. And so that is the breakdown of that. What he said was not necessarily historically and historically accurate because he was making a illogical fallacy. All right. I appreciate it, you guys. Thank you for joining me. Again, this is In My Mind. All right. This is In My Mind. And I will come up with these randomly. And these will be something that I will present to you guys with current events and news topics and things like that whenever I see something that grabs my attention that I need to, I feel, further explain and clarify. All right. Make sure that you guys do check me out on my Diversity Outspoken episodes. Diversity Outspoken does air on Wednesdays at 9 o'clock p.m. That is United States Eastern Time Zone. And Sundays, 9 o'clock p.m. That is United States Eastern Time Zone. I appreciate you guys. All right. Thank you guys for everything. Kanye does need help. We have to pray for Kanye. Have a good night. Toya Shanique. You guys take care. For everybody who joined me, thank you very much. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful night. Check out Asian Eloquence on my IG bio page. You guys take care, all right? Have a great night, all right? All the way from NYC. I'm all the way from China. You guys take care. Interstellar Traveler, I see you, sister. Peace. Have a great night, you guys. Bye-bye. Take care. Peace. Bye.